Fred Richani of TSC News here with the UFC London rapid recap for February 27th, 2016. And boy, did that main event between Silva and Bisping have some malfunction at the junction. Michael Bisping, winner by decision. A hell of a fight by both men. The scores were 48-47, 48-47, 48-47. It's 48-47 across the board. I had Michael Bisping winning rounds number 1, number 2, and 4. Silva looked to be winning. Well, I think he definitely won round 3. I thought he won round 5. This fight was very interesting. Round 1, Anderson Silva didn't seem to take Michael Bisping all that seriously, and Bisping and Silva got in each other's faces. Silva tried to embrace him at the end of round 1, and Bisping was having none of it. Round 2, Bisping actually knocked down Anderson Silva, which nothing against Michael Bisping, but that wouldn't happen to the old Anderson Silva. That was crazy. Round number 3 was just weird. Silva started taking him a little more seriously, turning it up, and then within like 10 seconds, I believe, in round number 3, it looked like Michael Bisping lost his mouthpiece, and I don't know, they were clinched up against the cage. It looked like Herb Dean was going to briefly pause the fight so Bisping could put his mouthpiece in there. I mean, fighter safety, right? Bisping just stopped trying to defend himself, pointed it to the ground, I guess, for his mouthpiece. It was just a weird deal. And then Silva released the clinch, kneed him right in the dome, and looked to knock out Michael Bisping. So I'm thinking, oh my God, that sucks for Bisping. What a controversial ending. But, it's technically legal. And Silva got on top of the cage, started celebrating, and Herb Dean's like, bro, the fight's still going on. And it's very reminiscent of Dan Miller versus Usmar Palhares, if anybody remembers that fight, where Palhares actually was beating on Miller. I forgot what happened. Ironically, I think Herb Dean was the ref of that fight a few years back. And Palhares is celebrating on top of the cage, and Herb Dean is going, nah, bro. As wrestling fans will know this as, it was kind of a dusty finish. You think it's the finish, but it's really not. So Silva's celebrating. He's trying to get his corner in there, and Herb Dean has to tell him 100 times, the fight is not over. Now you can make the argument due to fighter safety, it should have been over. I mean, Bisping was bloodied up. This corner was checking on him. I didn't even see a cut, man. That was just bleeding like crazy. But shockingly, he comes back in round number 4, won that one. Round number 5, Silva turned it up a bit, and in the last minute or two, I'm thinking, okay, Anderson Silva's got to finish this guy. He's shown the capability of finishing Bisping in any fighter throughout his career, and it seemed like he was either tired or let his foot off the gas or what, but lost the fight, fair and square. Michael Bisping got the biggest win of his career. I don't care if it's a 40-year-old Silva or a 30-year-old Silva, he's still one of the greatest of all time. A great scene. Both guys bowed down to each other for respect. Michael Bisping put over Anderson Silva in his accomplishments, talked about how this is the biggest win of his career, said he wanted this fight for years. I thought he was going to call out Luke Rockhold, but you know what? The guy just got done fighting the fight of his life. And, you could pretty much say he was almost, if not totally knocked out, at least for a few seconds at the end of round number 3. So for him to come back, persevere, win that fight, look, you can say what you want about Michael Bisping, his quote-unquote lack of power, whatever the hell it is you want to say about him. You cannot question his toughness, and it was just a great win. He thanked his family, he thanked his trainers, he went to hug his wife and looked at his mother outside, and just a great win for Bisping, a great day for UK MMA. And Silva just thanked his team, thanked Brazil, and yeah, very emotional. And I can imagine, I mean, you knock out Michael Bisping in round 3, or nearly knock him out, you think you won the fight. I mean, as Dan Hardy said, on commentary, that's got to be an adrenaline dump. I mean, my God. This ain't pro wrestling here where you think it's the finish. I mean, geez, just a crazy fight. But Bisping gets the win, and I guess the question is, where does Bisping go from here? Actually, the other question is, where does Silva go from here? If I'm Dana White, if I'm Lorenzo Fertitta, I do think about giving Bisping a title shot. Now, to some hardcore fans, they might say, Bisping doesn't stand a chance against Rockhold or Weidman on paper, which is probably true. At least the odds aren't in his favor. But he's a guy that has drawn money before. He does put asses in seats. I think it is a tough sell to put him against Rockhold, but assuming he's going to have somewhat of a hefty medical suspension after this bout, you could do Rockhold versus Weidman 2, which has been like the rumor matchup for a while. Say Weidman wins, which, no guarantees there. At least you'd have a fresh matchup of Weidman versus Bisping, as opposed to doing Rockhold versus Bisping 2, which is a tough sell considering we already saw that fight and we saw that Rockhold beat him pretty handily. We also had Gegard Mousasi beat Talis Ladies via unanimous decision. Decent fight, but I felt like Gegard could have finished him, or at least put the pressure on a little bit more, but he got the victory. I missed this fight because Fight Pass went haywire. We had Tom Breeze beat Keita Nakamura via decision. We had Brad Pickett beat Francisco Rivera via split decision. Fun fight, but I thought the wrong guy won. And yeah, overall, a really, really fun main card. Didn't get a chance to really watch much of the prelims. It was a lot of decisions. The whole main card was decisions, but it was a fun night of fights. I gotta say, fun night of fights. If Anderson Silva chooses to hang up the gloves from here, much respect to him. There is a part of me that's disappointed that he never truly admitted to taking steroids after he failed his drug test, after the Nick Diaz fight. To me, it would have just made sense to say, listen, guys, I broke my leg, I lost my confidence, I took some stuff I shouldn't have taken, please forgive me. Instead, he concocted the stupid Thai sex pill lie, and I mean, at the end of the day, do I really think most fans care about that? No. I think most fans will still support Anderson Silva, no matter what he does. I think he'll still go into the UFC Hall of Fame, and will still be a great ambassador for the sport, especially in Brazil. But yeah, I do kind of wish he was just kind of like some other athletes and just kind of came clean, Just say, you know what, I screwed up, move on. It is what it is. Congratulations, Michael Bisping, on this awesome, awesome victory. Folks, I want to hear from you, though. What did you think about UFC London? Did it live up to the hype? Do you agree with all the decisions? Let me know.